Our conversation with Mark Sickles, who is a Virginia state delegate representing parts of Alexandria and Fairfax County. He's also vice chair of the House Appropriations Committee. Mark Sickles, thank you so much for joining us.
It's good to be with you, Coach.
Delegate Sickles, Virginia lawmakers announced yesterday they had stripped language authorizing the building of a sports arena in Alexandria from the state budget. As the vice chair of the House Appropriations Committee, you were part of this decision making. Tell us how it went down.
Well, on the House side, we were trying to find, a way to move it forward by solving the problems that are in the bill itself, and to bring more people on. But the Senate really didn't want to talk about it at all. Senator Lucas, the chair of the Senate Finance and Appropriations Committee from Portsmouth, has been opposed to the project from the beginning. And so we really couldn't get to any detailed negotiation. There are a lot of members like myself that wanted to improve the bill to get into a place where we wanted to vote for it. And I wanted to help Alexandria City. They are firmly behind this, at least their elected representatives are. And this is something that is consistent with the plan for their city and for this northern quadrant. And, they really wanted, they've got the equity, they will have equity ownership in it. And we wanted to see where we'd make it happen, make the transportation improvements that are needed real, make sure our friends in labor are protected as we go forward. And we didn't really get to the point of negotiation on any of that because of concerns about the debt, long-term debt, and what it could mean over time that Senator Lucas has.
Here's Tom Sherwood.
Delegate, you laid that out pretty well in terms of the issues with the proposal itself. But address for us, please, the widespread feeling that I've reported and others is that the governor made a mistake, a tactical mistake, by not including in the negotiations early on, late last year, Louise Lucas, who is from Portsmouth and is the chair of the Senate Finance Committee, the powerful person who in the Senate kept this bill from going forward. How did that fall apart? The politics of this, not the policy, but the politics of it seems the governor and Ted Leonsis, the owner, did not reach out to the senators, Lucas in particular, to make this happen.
Yeah, Tom, this job as governor is very different from being the CEO of a company where you can just cut the deal with the top folks and pass it on. You need to do the legwork. This administration really hasn't discovered the secret to doing that yet on this or many other issues. So I agree with your assessment that if you're implying that he had not spent time with Senator Lucas early on this very major project, even though there are no general funds in it, that he probably should have done that. This job is harder than he probably thought it was when he came down here, and he spent maybe the first 2 years with his eyes elsewhere and not really on getting to know us in the legislature very well. And depending on, at the time, he had a small majority in the House of Delegates, which we eliminated as Democrats last year.
Well,
so
he's truly, excuse me for interrupting, we don't have a lot of time. He's truly a lame duck. Senator Lucas said yesterday, I saw the video of her saying, even if he brings this back in the veto session or tries to do a new bill or even wants to bring it back in January, the next session in 2025, that he's basically out of here at the end of 2025 and she'll be around for 3 or 4 more years, that he needs to understand how the legislature works. Does she have it right? And then also, what's going to happen next? Is the governor going to try to bring this back at the veto session April 17th? Is he going to introduce a new bill? Is he going to wait to January? Or is he going to veto all the Democratic bills and call it a day on the arena?
Well, yesterday he was quite upset at his press conference, as you might have seen, and his press secretary said afterwards that he was not going to do that. But in the legislative process, there's always hope. There's always tomorrow. There's always a deal to be made. potentially whether monumental sports and entertainment can last through our machinations in that regard is the question. So.
You have said that the local officials in Alexandria supported it, and as you were saying that, Tom Sherwood was shaking his head because he was thinking about the residents of Alexandria. We have one such on the phone. Here is Rob in Alexandria. Rob, your turn.
Hey, thank you, Kojo, for taking my call. First off, congratulations to Tom Sherwood. Tom, the show would not be the show without you. I have a question for the delegate. I live in the Delray part of Alexandria. We do not want we do not want that arena. We're thinking of taking signatures for a referendum or something to put on. And my question would be for the delegate: do you think with the politicians, if this referendum said, enough people said, hell no, we don't want this, would they listen and just drop the whole thing?
Your turn, Delegate Sickles.
Yes, Kojo. They're having elections in Alexandria City this year. The Delray neighborhood and everyone else can weigh in on what they want to do. There's the mayor seat is open. There's no incumbent running for mayor. I think that's probably the best way to figure out what the city wants to do. That's the way we do it in America. We have elections, and he's going to have an opportunity to vote.
And very quickly, we're out of time, but the candidates running for the council and for mayor are all giving kind of wishy-washy statements of they want this done, want more Alexandria representation on the state sports commission, they want this, they want to have more seat at the table, they want some of them more of the money to come to Alexandria. It doesn't sound like all those council members who sat on the stage last December 15th when this was announced. It sounds like much more iffy, and you're right. The June 18th primary is coming up, and we'll get an answer to the question about do the citizens of Alexandria want it.
Can't disagree with that. All those details you mentioned, Tom, are what we're talking about with developing a bill that everyone can support. There are a lot of details like that. All those things are negotiable, and if there's room for openness from various parties, will be negotiated.
Indeed, Mark Sickles, one of the reasons Tom Sherwood has been here for 15 years is because he spends all of his time reading about these issues, as he indicated in this question to you, because he has no life. Mark Sickles, thank you so much for joining us.
I almost went to the Huntington Metro stop, but it was too far.